once again, it's another review from PBK, and this week we are doing Double Dragon, the arcade game. Yes, another flashback moment. You guys remember Double Dragon, right? Billy and Jimmy Lee, or Spike and Hammer. Pretty much, everyone's more or less just about played this. And this time around, I decided to do the arcade one, not the NES one, which isn't really that different. And part 2 certainly seems a lot more like the arcade one to me, but that's just my personal opinion. Let's go ahead and break open this Wikipedia for some of this information on it. Let's see. Double Dragon is a 1987 beat-em-up developed by Technos, Japan, and distributed in North America and Europe by the Tatio Corporation. The game is a spiritual and technological successor to Technos' earlier beat-em-up, Renegade, because I cannot pronounce that actual name, but introduced several additions such as 2-player cooperative play, the ability to arm oneself with the enemy's weapon while disarming them. Double Dragon is considered to be one of the first successful examples of the genre, resulting in the creation of 2 arcade sequels and several spin-offs, as well as inspiring other companies and creating their own beat-em-ups. So this is basically the granddaddy of all beat-em-ups, apparently. Was also released on a variety of systems, apparently, too. Like the NES, the Sega Master System, the Atari 2600. Really? I'm gonna have to go find that. Atari. Really arcade. The Atari 7800, the Atari ST, the Amiga, and the Commodore 64. Game Boy, Genesis / Mega Drive, Atari Lynx, among other platforms during the series' height of popularity. A remake titled Double Dragon Advance was released on the Game Boy in 2003. The NES version was re-released for Wii Virtual Console in North America on April 28, 2008 at the cost of 500 Wii points. Nintendo also released the Game Boy version on the Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console in 2011. And apparently there's been another remake for iPod and iPhone mobile devices which feature brand new gameplay, sprites, animation, and music. So thank you, Wikipedia, because you gave me some extra information I just point blank did not know. For the most part, it's 2 guys and a girl basically gets KO'd in front of your garage, I believe. We're assuming that, she's dating one of them. And basically you come out and you beat up all the bad guys in this street gang until you get to the guy who basically was there to kidnap her. Beat him up too. And at the end, here's the twist. 2 guys, 1 girl, the math don't add up. So you fight over it, and the winner gets the girl. In this version, it's just me playing by myself, so I get the girl. I bet that just was so creepy, right? But let's break it to what they break down. The player takes control of martial artist Billy Lee or his twin brother Jimmy, also known as Hammer and Spike in supplementary materials for the American arcade release, as they fight their way into the turf of the Black Warriors gang. Really? The Black Warriors gang? In order to rescue their common love interest, Marion, where I'm guessing this is kind of like the same deal that's going on with that Oliver Stone movie, Savages. I'm just saying. The device still works apparently very well. The player character has a repertoire of martial art techniques, which they can perform by using joystick and 3 action buttons, kick, jump, and punch, individually or in combination. Techniques range from basic punches and kicks to more elaborate maneuvers like hair-grabbing moves and elbow strikes. When playing another player, one can assist the other by grabbing their partner's opponent from behind. The player begins the game with a certain number of extra lives and a life gauge, which depletes as the player takes hits. If the life gauge runs out or the time limit reaches 0, which I've never noticed the time limit, the player will lose a life. There is a small variety of enemy characters that the player will face through the course of the game. Certain enemies will carry melee weapons, which the player can use by disarming the enemy, carrying it, and then retrieving the item from the floor. The available lift and throw at the available weapons include steel bats, whips, throwing knives, dynamite sticks, and as well as large objects such as boxes, oil drums, and rocks, which the player can lift and throw at enemies or kick it towards incoming ones. Does this not sound like just the 2D predecessor of the Warrior game, where that's just like this in 3D, only with more people? I'm just saying. The game is divided into 4 different stages or missions, which consist of a city slum, a factory, the woods, and the hideout of the boss. The game normally ends if a single player defeats the final boss alone. However, if 2 players manage to complete the game together, then the two will be forced to fight each other in order to determine who will win Marion's affections. Alright, some PvP action! Although the original arcade version featured a color palette of 384 colors, the hardware consisted of... You don't care about that. Pretty much, it's basically the same way that I came with my explanation of it. So, I mean, I can't really fault it for that. Although I will admit, they made a movie. It was so horrible, man. Worse than the Mario Brothers movie. But, with all that aside, though, to be honest, I felt that a Double Dragon movie could have happened like in the 80s or back then, because seriously, it's not a complicated formula. But Hollywood overdid it and screwed it up. To be perfectly honest, and this is just me talking, if we'd have just had, like, say, 5 minutes with 2 pals just walking down an alley, kind of talking to each other, going to a garage to check on car parts or to see on how his bitchin' new ride was coming along at the chop shop. And then he basically, you hear this woman get assaulted outside. Both guys looking, oh snap, she's hot. Did I mention these 2 guys are wearing denim suits and boots? Because one would have on a red denim suit and the other would have on a blue denim suit because they hang out a lot. Anyway, when they come out and they see, oh, this hot chick just got kidnapped. We need to get involved. And a bunch of guys start attacking them that seem to be with the guys carrying off the girl and such. And they just broke into a bunch of fight and chase scenes and pretty much had a few moments of where it's just 2 bros putting together the clues and then keep breaking out these handful of big muscular guys who pretty much come in like, I'm gonna kick your ass. You know. I'd have watched it and I'd have been quite happy because I would have just known they were Billy and Jimmy Lee. And as long as they beat up the guy with the gun and he could like shoot one of them and he like dies, so at the end it's like, bro, don't die on me. And then at the end he gets the girl and it's like, oh, thank you. But Jimmy had to die. And that was like the movie, that would be like awesome. I can allow that plot twist. Because somehow that works out better than 2 guys, 1 girl, and we're going back home. Because, you know, that's not the visual you want. Is you don't want the DP movie. And if you don't know what that means, just leave it here. You don't think about it too much. But for the ones of you who do know who that is, what that is, you're probably laughing hysterically at the moment. And I welcome such. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's Double Dragon, man. It's a classic. There's not really much I need to say about it except it's a very simplistic game and it goes a lot of places. I wish other games would go a little more frequently sometimes, because now we kind of have these games where it's like this crazy, amazingly elaborate thing that you play and you get caught up in, and the story's so deep that it may actually be lost in translation, even though it's in your native language. That sometimes you get something that's just like, I want something where I have a mild reason to beat up people and not just beat them up. And, you know, we just go from there. And whatever happens, happens. You get some twists, but it's not like, aha! Shyamalan! You know, so I'm quite happy with simple games. I enjoy them typically more because I can replay them and I don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff to get the enjoyment out of. So I mean, that's what I mean. Because I mean, I could get into some other chats about that, but we're supposed to be focusing on Double Dragon. So that's pretty much it. It's Double Dragon, man. So basically, been like, we're going to just go ahead and call it. Comment, rate, subscribe, tell people, buy stuff, give your friends a high five, shake hands, do a little dance, not the fusion dance though, and play some more games and such. And I'm gonna keep doing reviews and such until I get bored. Been like, pretty much when y'all stop buying stuff completely. So yeah, whoever's buying, you're running this at this point. So it makes me feel like maybe I need to start a Kickstarter. Oh yeah. And have you guys heard about the HEhe system? I'm off topic again. Billy and Jimmy Lee. Yes, they had a cartoon and such too. The cartoon was alright. Said, but I didn't like the game based on the cartoon. But I believe that this is the favorite Double Dragon out of all of them, though. Just because it would end up swallowing quarters just for the mere fact that, you know, I'm Billy, you're Jimmy. Yeah, let's go beat up these bad guys. All right. I've got to kill you now. You can try. Yeah, you know, because kids game. And you know your kids are happy when they're going, Enough said. But I'm going to leave it at that because it's Double Dragon. You know what? I probably should actually put up the beat that I made from Double Dragon in this, but I'm not going to do that because that requires me to change my format. But I might post it up later just to post it. Yeah, I might do that. But yeah, same old stuff as before. Thank you guys for stopping by. Stop by again. Enjoy this selection of peanuts that we don't have, and have a good time. All right then. Later.